Yo, welcome in to the Construct video. Queued up for today, we have this thing.
Why do you say this thing? Say the actual thing, bro.
Fine. The original plans for Iron Man 2 is the video we're watching today. Click in the video description if you would like to watch it yourself, because we will be talking.
Had director Jon Favreau had his way, Iron Man 2 could have been a much darker, more mature, and potentially better film than the first one, in much the same way that The Dark Knight improved upon Batman Begins. So let's dive in and find out what went wrong and what could have been Iron Man 2. In the first version of the Iron Man script, Mandarin was written as the film's villain, with the idea that Obadiah Stane would become Ironmonger in the sequels. However, during a meeting between Favreau and various comic book writers to get feedback on the script, comic book writer Mark Millar argued against using Mandarin, feeling he was too fantastical for Favreau's more grounded approach to Iron
Agreed.
Man. After a 10-second silence, which allegedly felt like an eternity, Favreau would agree, as the team would then proceed to rewrite the script to make Ironmonger the main villain instead, and save Mandarin for the second or third film.
And you'll
Ever see me coming?
Later,
Coming.
Favreau would say,
That's
I
hard.
look at Mandarin more like how in Star Wars you had the Emperor, but Darth Vader is the guy you want to see fight.
Quick tangent. Just that, like this guy said, like, the Mandarin was too fantastical for Favreau's grounded approach to Iron Man, but they did that properly. If they really committed to Iron Man, to Mandarin in Iron Man 3, especially when people thought it was going to be the Mandarin, nobody's like, this is too weird. Like, oh, this fits,
Yeah.
because they built into it. Like, you know, how people say DC can't do, oh, Batman's too grounded, build into it. Anyways, that's just a quick
Yeah,
tangent.
no, for sure.
Then you work your way to the time when lightning bolts are shooting out of the fingers, and all that stuff could happen. But you can't have what happened in Return of the Jedi happen in A New Hope.
I
You
completely
just can't
agree.
do it. And while the first Iron Man is largely a standalone film with some teases and setups for a larger universe, the second film was criticized for taking that a little too far, with the film's primary storyline taking a backseat to setting up future movies. And there's a very good reason
So,
for this. and
pause.
that's-
My thing is that I don't think that, like, the storyline takes a back seat for, like, the building of the further universe. Like, I feel like Nick Fury's, like, involvement in Iron Man 2 makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it makes a lot of sense, actually. Because this is Nick Fury we're talking about, and you know Nick Fury is going to have someone freaking checking in on Iron Man, the person he's trying to, get on his side, get on his team.
Yeah.
Like, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that only serves to help further the cinematic universe as a whole. Because, like, I think for how much of a success Avengers was, you did need to start building a little bit more of the larger universe and stuff like S.H.I.E.L.D. in Iron Man 2, because it's the first sequel before we get the actual Avengers.
I agree. Personally, I still don't think that Iron Man 2 should have released before Avengers. Like, I've told you this, Noah. My
Yeah.
pitch for Iron Man 2 would have been post after the Avengers. You keep the PTSD Tony gets, that leads him into the drinking demon in the bottle storyline, and we trade out Whiplash
Yeah.
for Crimson Dynamo. I feel like that would have been a more enjoyable film just for me. I think it would have made a lot more sense, and I did really like Whiplash as a villain. You can keep Justin Hammer and have him supply Crimson Dynamo, but I just enjoy Crimson Dynamo a lot more as well. And
Yeah.
I just think they were just rushing too much with all this stuff, because
Yeah.
also because War Machine's here. Where's War Machine when New York needs him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And 2 was not originally supposed to be a part of Phase 1. In its place would have been an Edgar Wright-directed Ant-Man film. However, after
Gosh.
that got delayed and following
So
Iron
sad.
Man's enormous success,
That movie
and fan
probably wouldn't have been good from what I
enthusiasm to
heard.
Nick Fury-
Really quickly, I don't know if you know this. Do you know that Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and the Avengers all take place in the same week of time?
Really?
It's 1 week. Like, it's all it's like
Wait, so Iron Man, and then Iron Man 2 happens a week later?
yeah, it's 1 week, and then it's then the Avengers. It's literally called Fury's Big Week, because he's jumping from place to place
That's-
finding Iron Man, Hulk, Thor. Like, it's 1 week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's actually
That's actually crazy. That's in universe 1 week is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That explains why the Mark III wasn't repaired
Yeah.
in Iron Man 2. Yeah, that makes oh wow.
Mhm.
Dang. Tony was freaking churning those things out.
Yeah, he was. He was,
Holy
man.
frick.
Yeah, which is insane.
Writing plans for an Avengers film while laying the groundwork for it in Iron Man 2. However, Favreau wanted to focus on his Iron Man trilogy and try to keep the stories more self-contained, as he was not enthusiastic about the idea of superhero crossovers and team-ups. And that's because the constantly shifting dynamics within the MCU made it virtually impossible for Favreau to plan ahead and map out a cohesive path for his Iron Man trilogy.
This isn't gonna change what happened.
I don't care. You killed my mom.
As he'd say, in theory, Iron Man 3 is going to be a sequel or continuation of Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and Avengers. This whole world, I have no idea what it is. I don't think they do either, from conversations I've had with those guys. Compounding matters was the fact that Iron Man 2 was incredibly rushed, as only days following Iron Man 1's release and without consulting either Favreau or Downey, Marvel announced that a sequel would be coming in exactly 24 months, giving Favreau less time to make it than the first one. Contrast this with Christopher Nolan on his Batman
that's crazy.
trilogy.
It is
You can
way
see
too little
Nolan not
time.
only take his time to craft each follow-up film, but also direct other movies like The Prestige and Inception in between each outing. On the other hand, had no such luxury, which is why he was even hesitant to return at all. Plus, Marvel allegedly lowballed him, which led Favreau to hold out, feeling he deserved a significant raise after the enormous success of the first film.
'Cause he
This
did.
stalemate in what were allegedly difficult negotiations would last 2 months, and also
John
cost
Favreau.
time.
John Favreau made Marvel.
Yeah.
John Favreau and freaking Robert Downey Jr. are the only reason Marvel isn't bankrupt right now and non-existent.
100%.
Like, legitimately, without those two people, like, Marvel wouldn't exist right
Dude,
now.
the way that, like, such a low tier comics character was boosted into the public zeitgeist like so quickly is honestly insane. Like they released like a video when the first Iron Man movie was inducted into the like the US cinema storage thing that I forget what it's called. Where like all like super classic iconic films are put in preserved
National Library of Congress?
something like that. It's like a library where like Star Wars is in it, like a bunch of classic movies like Lord of the Rings. They put them in there to preserve them over time because they're so important to the culture of America. And they put Iron Man in there.
Going into Iron Man 2, both Downey and Favreau were eager to adapt the famous Demon in a Bottle storyline, which sees Tony Stark battle alcoholism. Much to fans' disappointment, the film would never fully commit to it, and instead settled for a watered-down, half-hearted attempt.
Demon in a
at
Bottle is such a
incorporating
great
some of
name
the
as well.
storyline's Elements.
It is.
And there were several reasons for this. Firstly, Hancock had come out the same summer as Iron Man, and that film also saw its superhero protagonist turn to the bottle. Favreau, worried about the similarities to the Demon in a Bottle storyline, didn't want audiences to feel like he was copying Hancock. Not only that, but Marvel had major reservations about
peeing
depicting
in that
the Golden
scene.
Goose
Yeah.
as an alcoholic, worried it would hurt the film's potential box office with younger audiences, as well as depress sales of toys and merchandise for the character. Writer Justin Theroux would go on to say, "A 13-year-old kid does not want to see drunken Tony Stark. We didn't want to do the Leaving Las Vegas version of Iron Man 2. A casualty of this was the film's original opening, which saw Stark drunk or hungover and vomiting in a
It's a great
toilet as
scene.
he argues with Pepper
Yeah, it
before
is.
dropping into what we think is a highly dangerous mission, only for it to be revealed that it's the Stark Expo instead. Not only is this scene hilarious,
Give me some Advil.
I don't have Advil. I've got Motrin.
Motrin. I'm telling you, there was something seriously
Yes, there
wrong
is something
with
seriously
giving
wrong
a
with
grown
you.
man Motrin.
It's a
I'm not on my cycle, Pepper!
Hey guys, did you know some
It's a freaking
drivers
great
are
scene. I can't believe they
ditching
cut
their
it.
car insurance
Yeah.
and they're doing this?
Ibuprofen.
but it also establishes Stark's alcoholism
Yeah, you look every day. You look like you have a hangover.
and anxiety being a superhero.
I'm not doing this mission!
I'm saying this scene after the Avengers
Yeah.
would make so much sense.
Yeah, dude. It
And it's
really would.
like he's bigger now. He's more famous because he saved the world from the alien invasion. Stark Expo, boom! We're showing off all the cool new Iron Man stuff because of what the heck?
Oh, freak.
Technical difficulties.
Gosh.
Insert
Freaking
beep
damn
here. He's more famous now, and then it comes back as boom! I'm Iron Man. Let me show off the new cool Stark stuff we got post Avengers, and I'm also drinking because fighting off aliens is stressful as hell, and I almost died because I was floating aimlessly in the vacuum of space, and the only reason I survived is because luck. Like. That's I just feel like it's such a great opening to that scene. You're like, oh dang, what he just came up with major. it writes itself. Whatever. Anyways.
The first Iron Man was famously made without a completed script. As Jeff Bridges would call it, a $200 million student film.
We would often come to work, and there would be no script for that scene today. And we would muster in my trailer with Favreau and Robert Downey and the suits, man, the guys from Marvel.
Right.
And we would sit in there, and I would say, okay, Robert, you play me, and I'll play your guy. So we change parts. Favreau would be calling writer friends of his. He said, here's the scene. Now, you got any ideas?
goodness.
Meanwhile, the crew's in there tapping their foot, ready to go to work.
So you would think that on the
Wow.
sequel they would have
That is insane.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
insanely miraculous, dude. Freaking demon in a bottle, freaking lightning in a bottle, bro.
Yeah,
That's
no kidding,
great.
bro.
That catch was crazy, and then they built off that shit. They were like, "We're gonna take this and run with it." Like
Yeah, no kidding.
that. Wow.
Like that's really impressive that they were able to pull that off, and like they must have had some crazy brainstorming sessions, freaking during
Dude,
during
that's
that
dead
shooting.
ass shit we do when we shoot films.
I know.
That's dead ass.
Sitting there like, how do we do this?
Yeah, I wonder what this like. God, we should have written the script before. Like, no,
Yeah,
that's,
I know.
That's
Terrence Howard would famously be replaced by Don Cheadle.
yeah, but like, good, you know.
Thank
Don-
you.
First
Appreciate
film,
it.
Howard
Yeah,
was the
Don
first
Cheadle's kinda
actor
great.
cast, coming off his Academy Award-nominated performance in Hustle and Flow. But it may surprise you to learn that Favreau originally wanted to cast Don
I love
Cheadle
the silver
instead.
suit.
Because really,
I
initially,
know.
they wanted Don in that role. And my agent pushed me into the role.
Oh,
Howard's
interesting.
agent would net him a 3-picture
Huh.
deal and a $4.5 million payday for the first film.
I didn't know that they originally wanted Don Cheadle. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and then they got him.
They got him. Worked out all the end.
As Downey, who was totally washed up at this point in his career, was paid a mere $500,000.
I did a movie called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Jon Favreau did a movie called
Dang.
Zathura. They both tanked, and we were both really hungry to try to do something that would make an impact. And when Iron Man came out, everyone that knew me and loved me said, this will do until The Dark Knight comes out.
And because of Downey's history and lack of star power at the time,
Oh, no, we're not ready for you yet, sir. Will you please go back out, wait with the others?
Marvel was very hesitant to cast him, leading Howard to allege that he offered to take
He's
And
on.
now he's freaking a billionaire, or
yeah,
whatever.
now he's that guy. Like he
Yeah.
goes back. Freaking.
Now he's-
now he's Doctor
he's-
Doom. Freaking.
Yeah, now he's freaking Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Beforehand, he was just, he's Robert Downey. Now he's freaking Robert Downey Jr.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Also, he's also pretty great in Sherlock as well.
He is great in Sherlock.
Which is those are like his two most. And didn't he win the Oscar for Oppenheimer? Best supporting
ooh,
actor.
That's a good question. He did.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, perfect for the role. Amazing comeback, bro. Freaking, like this is like a cosmic moment. All these people coming together, except for Don Cheadle. Obviously, he was late to the party.
a $1 million pay cut from his salary if they cast Downey. And while Howard was certainly no slouch in the finished cut of the film, it's clear that one of the main reasons for the film's success was Downey's incredible career-revitalizing performance, which is why for the sequel he asked for a much-deserved raise. Now,
Facts.
Terrence Howard will tell you
As he
that to
should.
pay Downey on the second film, Marvel cannibalized his salary.
The person that I helped become Iron Man, when it was time to re-up for the second one, took the money that was supposed to go to me and pushed me out. And I called my friend that I helped get the first job, and he didn't call me back for 3 months.
And while it's true that the
That's
studio
crazy.
did go to
That's
Howard's
insane.
agent with a new and heavily
I mean,
reduced
were they
offer,
actually
the
friends,
reason
though?
Howard gives
Maybe, I guess,
to pay
apparently
Downey
not.
is not a-
Here's the thing, though. With this, I've never liked. Maybe it's just bias. I've seen them for so many more years, but I don't think Terrence Howard and Downey are as strong as Cheadle and Downey with the dynamic and the chemistry, like at all. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if it's specifically because of the actor or maybe the writing itself, but I do think that the Tony Rhodey like interaction in Iron Man 2 is a lot better than in the first one.
Yeah, and subsequently, like I think their banter in later movies is great. Maybe that's just because we get more of them, so I'm more connected to those two as a
Yeah.
relationship. But I don't know. I just feel like Terrence Howard
It's
kind of out of place.
that's the thing is that most of the time in Iron Man 1, the Terrence Howard Rhodey is just kind of his mom.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Tony, you can't do this, Tony.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, Don Cheadle kind of does the same thing, but also like he
talks to him more like a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get you.
And spent a lot of time during editing trying to find what he felt were usable takes of Howard, eventually recutting and reshooting scenes he was in. In addition to this, it's alleged that Howard was difficult to work with. As a result of this, on the second film, Favreau instructed writer Justin Theroux to minimize Colonel Rhodes' presence in the
beep again.
What exactly happened next isn't publicly known, but either Howard balked at the idea and quit, or was fired. The role would then be beefed back up before being offered to Don Cheadle, who would only have an hour to decide if he wanted to take it or not.
They called me. I was at my daughter's birthday party, a laser tag game, and it was a 6 or 7, I think 6 picture deal, and you do the math. That's like 12 years. I said, I'm at my daughter's birthday party. They said, well, we need you to do it in an hour. I'm like, I just got here. They're like, oh, take 2 hours.
And speaking of offers being given to actors, Emily Blunt was originally offered the role of Black Widow, but had no choice but to turn it down as she had scheduling conflicts with Gulliver's Travels,
so
which she was
crazy.
contractually obligated to do. And you can tell she's still bitter about it to this day.
You were offered the role of Black Widow in the Marvel series.
Yeah.
And that's a great role for Scarlett Johansson, but that would have been a great role for you too, and a slam dunk big role.
Mm-hmm.
She looks pressed. She looks like, why are you saying this to me?
Travels at that point.
No. I actually do want to clean up the story on Gulliver's Travels. I was contracted to do Gulliver's Travels. I didn't want to do Gulliver's Travels.
She could come back. She can come back as somebody else. You can do other things. Like, there's so many other Marvel characters that we can bring you back for. Like,
that's fact. Who I'm trying to think of.
One of the X-Men, because there's a bunch of those guys.
She could be like, she could be like Rogue or what's her name? The person a bunch of people want Sydney Sweeney to play. What's her name?
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Emma Frost,
yeah,
but I was like, nah, Sydney Sweeney's too perfect for Emma Frost, bro.
Yeah.
Emma Frost or Sydney Sweeney or Anya Taylor-Joy, they just look exactly like Emma Frost, both of them.
Yeah.
Before him also had revitalized his career, coming off his Academy Award nominated performance in The Wrestler. And just like Downey on the first film, Marvel was hesitant to cast him. Favreau, however, urged Marvel to trust him, just like they trusted him when he pushed for Downey, arguing that Rourke was perfect for the part of Vanko, precisely because his career path mirrored that of Downey's, which further served as a parallel to the similar journeys of both Vanko and Stark. After Downey spent the award season trying to convince
Crimson
Rourke to
Dynamo.
do it, he finally showed up for a meeting with 3 demands. His character had to keep his hair in a samurai bun, speak with a Russian accent, and he had to have a bird on his shoulder.
Wait, actually, that's so funny.
A bird? You want a bird?
I want my bird. I can get you a bird. I can get you 10 birds. I want my bird.
All 3 demands would be met. However, Marvel wouldn't meet his salary demands, offering him a mere $250,000.
That's really weird.
After balking at it,
$250,000?
Yeah, that's
payday
bad.
to help him that a lot of his scenes were left on the cutting room floor, and suggested that Favreau didn't have any balls for letting Marvel cut out the bulk of his performance.
The Marvel people ruined my performance in Iron Man. Yeah, they left all the good shit on the floor because they just wanted him to be a one-dimensional bad guy, and that's boring.
Rounding out the film's cast was Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer.
Love Justin Hammer.
Favreau's first choice to play Tony Stark, but lost the role following Downey's incredible screen test.
How did Robert Downey
That's
Jr.
so interesting.
become Iron Man?
That's just perfect. Justin, the guy who was gonna play Justin Hammer, wanted to play like
Yes,
he's supposed to be like
So great.
the antithesis to That's great. I love when
He's
they do
supposed
stuff
to be the second rate Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's great. I love that. That's so good.
Sam Rockwell, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
it was God's will.
That's it, really?
Well, and a pretty good screen test.
You're never gonna get me in the sack with that attitude. Crudité?
Sam Jackson, who showed up in a cameo as Nick Fury at the end of the first film, almost didn't come back, which would have thrown a real wrench into
would have been
Marvel's
fucking
plans
hilarious.
for building towards the Avengers.
Well, I only did it for like a few minutes, and I'm not real sure that I'm going to have the opportunity to do that again because we've been having some difficulty coming to an agreement.
Is it something that you would like to do again?
I would love to do it. I'm not sure that they would love for me to do it. It seems as though they're having money problems.
No, okay.
They're caught up in the economic crisis also.
Oh, yeah. Are we all?
Eventually, they come to terms, as it would have been a huge L for Marvel to introduce
would have
Sam
been.
Dude,
Jackson as
if
Nick
Sam
Fury
Jackson
in Iron
freaking
Man
wasn't
1,
Nick
only
Fury,
to have to recast
that'd be
him in the
crazy.
second suit.
How'd you solve the
Yeah.
icing problem?
What icing problem?
Even though Iron Man 2 received
it did do the
Yeah.
it's still a hit at the box
So sad.
office
Yeah.
and successfully laid the groundwork for the MCU. However, the cost
I'm not
of
a fan
rushing
of
it into
curly hair Black
production
Widow, I'm
and
not gonna hold
using
you.
it as a launching pad for
Yeah.
the Avengers meant sacrificing Favreau's vision for a proper trilogy. Thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to like.
Yes, please go like and subscribe to Bullets and Blockbusters. They've recently become one of my new favorite
Yeah.
channels just because of just
Dude,
all the
their channel's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually go check out some of their other videos. Really, really cool stuff. Kyler and I was in Texas for Christmas and we just started watching some videos and yeah, it was they got some great videos.
We're probably gonna be looking at more of their stuff. But no, I was gonna say halfway through, and like, where are the plans for Iron Man 2? And then I realized, yeah, there were no plans for Iron Man 2. Like that's literally what he was talking about the whole time. Is that that just like. Yeah, they did not know what they were gonna do. They were flying by the seat of their pants. This movie.
Yeah.
They didn't have any time to write it. They were running through new actors. They had to get Don Cheadle to sign up really quickly.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke had all these crazy conditions and stuff. And then Marvel was also on their asses trying to get them to insert all the cinematic universe stuff. And it's like, yeah, there was no succinct vision for Iron Man 2. So they had to figure that shit out like on the fly.
Dude, that's the problem I think with the early MCU. And I think in the MCU in general, is that there has not been a consistent, clear vision.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the problem, or at least like from phase 4 and on, is because we haven't had like this clear path that we've been taking because we've seen so many stuff of like, you know, like we watched earlier, the post-credit scenes that haven't been like used, that have just kind of been left open empty and haven't been followed up on, and all this different stuff, and that like they were kind of suffering from the fact in phase 1 that like they weren't having much of a succinct plan, and that's why Iron Man 2 flopped.
Yeah.
And then they kind of went back to the drawing board. They're like, okay, we got to kind of figure this out, so that, you know, our directors and our writers can have the path that they need, but still be able to take creative liberties at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like there's like, even in the first 3 phases, like, yeah, they had a general idea, like, we're gonna do the Infinity Stone saga stuff, like that was like the thing they were building to, but like even then, like how that exactly they got there, I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure that if we look at the original drawing board, the plans for that are completely different than what we got, and that's like obviously fine. That's the nature of the industry. Like, things are gonna change like as you go on, because like of all like the fickle elements of it with people and changing actors and just like and new story elements you didn't think of before or whatever. Like and that sort of thing is like. Like, I feel like there's like a nice little middle ground that they should be doing. Where like it's like to keep like, what's it called, to keep like films connected to the cinematic universe, but also give directors enough creative freedom to tell their own unique movies and stories. And like, and that's and you could probably start off by like saying, hey, this general plot you need to follow, like this is to like kind of link it up to this, but other than that, do whatever you want, just make sure it links to these things at least a little bit, and like you foreshadow something like this, and I feel like that could work as well, because like the steps that like they throw in to make the world connected aren't really super duper big. And so like I feel like if you sign on to an MCU project, I feel like that stuff is like, you should be like expecting that first of all, that like you're gonna need to fill out to the bigger world, because it's like
and that's the thing about like the early MCU, is that they kind of weren't expecting, like Jon Favreau, I don't think was expecting that.
Oh, not at all.
I don't think he was expecting a cinematic universe at all.
No.
And I think that's part of the reason why Edgar Wright like dropped out, is because he started to see like, oh, I'm gonna have to like be at their whim, like I can't kind of do whatever I want with it.
Yeah, but also it's sad, but like we watched another. Go check out the video he did on Edgar Wright's Ant-Man as well. Like from what he said about that, like this, it didn't sound like it was gonna be a fantastic Ant-Man movie regardless. So
yeah,
it just sounded like it was gonna be really silly and like I think they took like, even though I like what's his name.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Not Scott Pilgrim. I like Scott
Edgar
Pilgrim.
Wright.
No, the guy Paul Rudd. Even though I like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, like freaking a different guy as Hank Pym, I think would have been a better decision. So, yeah, but freaking honestly, there's so much stuff that coincidentally had to go right for the MCU for them to drag Marvel from out of the freaking depths of Tartarus that it was in, dude. Like that. It's a miracle that we even got like this much great stuff that we even did. So it's just kind of cool to see. But yeah, do you have any more thoughts, Noah, on this?
No, not really. Me and you need to like go watch Iron Man 2 at some point.
Yeah.
So that you can like get a fresh opinion on it. We'll make a video out of that one day.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. But yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Give us your thoughts if you like what you saw here. We post videos here sometimes, and
if we feel like
it, yeah, you might find something you like. So who sees?
Give me $1 million, I might post a video, maybe.
Give me $1 million, I'll post a freaking feature length. I'll make you 3 feature length films. A trilogy is what I'll do.
Oh my god,
I can do that with $1 million easily. You could pay. What do you mean? What do you mean not easy? I could pay college students like $10,000 and they'll be like, "Word, I'll do that." I could do that shit. Anyways.
Okay, Kyler.
Do you don't think that a college actor would take a $10,000 deal in my film? Did you know?
I don't know, bud.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Are you serious right now? No, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me if someone's like, "Hey, for my student film, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 to be the cameraman of my."
It's a feature length film, bro.
Feature length student film, yeah. You're in college. You get paid $10,000.
That's a lot. That's a lot of like hours, Kyler.
Okay, it's 10,000.
Like
fine,
Kyler. That might be less than like $1.
But $30,000, $50,000, I can pay them, Noah. If I have $1 million, feature length, $50,000. Come on now.
Tyler, for a feature length film, 3 of them, $1 million is not a lot. It's not.
For a college student? For a college student on a student film.
Kyler, depending on how much time it's going to take to make this trilogy.
I'm not saying I'm paying them $50,000 for 3 movies. I'm saying I'm paying them $50,000
for a feature length film.
For a feature length film.
$1 million, yeah, $1 million would probably be enough.
Fucking jeez. Anyways, yeah.
Depends on how many people you need.
Fucking
like that.
End the video. Bye. Fucking hell.